Everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with another color with me. This one here, she's a cutie. She's called CC Design Candy. And let's talk about the Copics that I'm using. So for the face is E000, E50, and R20. Hair is E31, E33, and E25. The hat and the outfit is R22, R14, and R17. The shirt and socks are YG21, YG23, and YG25. The brim is E0000, and then sort of like the little polka dots that I'm going to do on it, that is going to be R12. The candy cane is R32, R35, R37, and then C1 and C3. The boots are E43, E44, and E47. And I have to say, this was probably one of the funnest one to color. She is just a sweetie. And I love the hair. Like, there's nothing kind of encumbering the hair. Yes, there's a hat, but the hair was kind of easy for me to do, which I find that is probably the part where I struggle the most. I find I'm finally getting the hang of it, like the face and stuff and the clothing, but I find the hair, I'm still struggling a little bit. But this hair here I really enjoyed doing. And I use Hammermill cardstock for my cardstock. I did try quite a few other ones, and I find that they kind of feather out quite a bit. So that means that, like, when I get to the edge, like where the stamp is, if I go too close to it and I kind of take my marker and stroke towards the black line instead of going from the black line in, then it will kind of seep out past the black line. That is a tip. If you want to minimize that, instead of taking your marker and flicking it towards the black line, start at the black line and come in, and then it minimizes that. But I find some cardstock is worse for it than others. I don't find the Hammermill cardstock 100 pounds is that bad. You know, sometimes in a few videos from now, actually probably next week, because I'm going to do one more Halloween one, the marker for some reason just spat out a bunch of alcohol ink and it made a mess, and I literally had to restart the coloring. I mean, sometimes that'll happen, right? But I'd rather minimize that. And I find too that the red, I really have a hard time, but I really like the combination of this red. So R32, R35, and R37. And by the way, I always start with the lightest color, and then I go to the next one, and then I blend with the lightest color, and then I go to the darkest one, and then I blend with the lightest color. And I really like how, you know, it turns out. And it's funny because I was going through my layouts that I did, because what I use these for, I don't make cards. So what I use these for are for my layouts. And I found a layout, because I'm taking my layouts and I'm journaling on them and I'm putting them in, you know, albums or boxes, whatever the case may be. And I found some little dolls like this, or stamp sets that I colored a few years back, and I'm like, whew, you know, doing these, I've really improved, because it was really bad. I'm not perfect, but the more I'm coloring, the better I'm getting. Another thing I like to do is I have Copic markers and I have Ohuhu markers, and I'm kind of coloring with both the same image and seeing which one I like. And I have to say, I do love my Copic markers, but if you find the Copic markers are super expensive, the Ohuhu markers is a fraction of the price. The only disadvantage is that you cannot refill them, but they blend well and everything. And I find it's harder to, you know, find colors that really go well together. But once you know, what I did was I got the charts for the Ohuhu markers, and I colored them out right away. And then you can use a chart to see which colors go well together, because it's not like the Copic where you can go 32, 35, 37, you know, jump 2 or 3. It doesn't quite work that way with Ohuhu, but if you do the chart, then you should be okay. So let's talk about the colors that I did use for those markers. For the face, I only have 3 colors that I have for the face. I haven't decided if I'm going to buy the hair and face marker set yet. So for now, I have R18, R19, and R20. The hair, I use E210 and E240. The hat and outfit, I used R1 and R3. The shirt and socks, I used GY6 and GY7. The trim, I use R080 or R080 at R110. The candy cane, I use R5, R8, and BG050 and BG070. And the boots, I use E300 and E310. Another thing I noticed too is with the Copics, I'll use 3 markers, but with the Ohuhu markers, I seem to only use 2. I have a hard time finding 3 that really works well, and that's because I don't have all the markers, right? I still have a good amount. I think I have over 200, but I don't have all of them. And one of my favorite things that I like doing with my colored images is I got a dot journal, and that way all my images are in there. They're nice and safe. I use a ruler and I make it 2.5 by 3.5, and then I color in. Because it's a dot grid journal, I'm able to follow, you know, and those are watercolor markers. They're not Copic markers, because Copic markers will bleed all the way through. So I use watercolor markers, and I color every second line, and that's where I write down the colors, so that one, I can let you know which color I use, but also if I want to color her again, I know exactly what colors I used, and if I want to try something different, I can. And if I would do that, I would start up a new page. If I use different colors, I would start up a different page, and I would, you know, do another one with the new colors. But that's it. That's going to complete the coloring of Candy by CC Design. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe. If you're enjoying these videos, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.